Hello and welcome to Keeping It Real with Rory. I am Ben Cason here with our very special guest, Amy Gasperetti, the Executive Director at the Pueblo West Chamber of Commerce. Amy, thank you for coming in.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. I can't wait to talk to you about this. So Rory is the, the president of the board at the Pueblo West Chamber of Commerce?
He is president of the board of directors.
President of the board of directors. There you go. And Amy, you being the executive director, you have more a hands-on role with the Chamber of Commerce, correct?
Right. So our board is kind of a governance board. So they come in and make decisions, and if there's any changes to make or the financial overview of the chamber, and then I'm in charge of the day-to-day operations. So Rory and I actually started on the board of directors together.
Oh, cool. So you started on the board with him.
Yep. And this position was created when we were on the board of directors. They decided that we needed to have a full-time focus in the Chamber of Commerce. And so we went to work trying to figure out how to fund that. And when we developed the job description, it just felt like everything that I had done kind of culminated into one position. And I turned my resume in and removed myself from the committee that was working on trying to put the position together and looking for people. And yeah, that's history. So Rory stayed on the board, thank goodness, because I needed people who had been on there previously to kind of help direct, because it was just a totally different outlook and an overview of the chamber being on that side of it. So it's been great to have him on the board, and knowing that we had served together, and now he's kind of my boss. I try not to remind him of that too often, but he is kind of my boss now. I report directly to the board. But he is just, he's an amazing person to work with.
So can you explain to me kind of like, in layman's term, what does the Chamber of Commerce do, and why are you so passionate about it?
Well, I'm passionate about it because, like I said, it pulls together everything that I have done in my career, and mostly it's helping other people. So we really focus on creating a healthy community around us, and the largest part of that is having healthy businesses. So we do a lot of business support. One of my favorite things to do always is to connect people. So I've been told I don't turn off. If you see me in the store during normal times, or see me at a concert during normal times, and I see somebody else that would make a good introduction, I'm doing that. So that's my favorite part of being with the chamber, is knowing what connections to make for people. And sometimes personal relationships develop and people become fishing buddies, or they go off-roading, jeeping together or whatever, because they enjoy each other's company so much. But it always starts in some sort of business connection, and business connections that can lead to mutually beneficial relationships, where you're referring a lot of business to each other, have the same type of customers, and you can get to know each other and really develop that trusting relationship where if someone sends somebody to you, that they're going to be taken care of. They know that about me. I know that about them. So it's always been about referrals for me, whether I have had my own business or I've been working for somebody else's business. I know that if I can build good, trusting relationships, and people know that I'm going to do what I say I'm going to do to the best of my ability, then they're comfortable sending their best clients to me. They're comfortable sending their mom to me, their aunts, their uncles, whoever it is that they think I can help. So those are the type of business relationships that we develop, and it just kind of transcends that business mindset. So that's my favorite part. I love connecting people and seeing the growth, both personally and professionally, for people that come with those connections, and then just being a resource for people, knowing what is happening in our community and what resources are available, whether somebody is looking to put together a business plan or they're getting ready to expand and they don't quite know how to go about getting financing for that, or how to package their financial applications and information, whether they need help with employee training. There's just all these different facets of business, and depending on what business you're in, some have more, some have less, but knowing knowing the resources and being the one that people come to say, who do I talk to about this, or how do I get help for that? And just having those answers, and not only having the answers, but having the relationships with each of those people in those areas to be able to make a phone call and say, hey, Jack really needs your services. I'm going to send him over. Can he ask for you? And will you take good care of him for me? Just makes it feel like we're going above and beyond and making sure that we're getting the best possible care for the people that we work with.
That's amazing. And, from the outside looking in, I've been in Pueblo for a little bit. It feels like Pueblo West is really like booming. I feel like it has been for a couple of years now. Have you been able to see that on your side, just how you have more businesses and more connections? And
I have.
How's that been?
I have, and I love Pueblo West, and I hope that, it is an extension of Pueblo in the sense that people are friendly. They greet you, they smile at you, they say hello, they're happy to help you with things on the top shelf when you're short. So I love that about our community, but yeah, it has just boomed. And that's always the fear in fast growth, right? That you're going to grow too fast and you're not going to keep what's special about a company, an organization, or a community even. So, so far so good. I really feel like the Pueblo West community has kept that connection. You still see people out riding their horses, and as businesses are growing, and that's the thing, when you get to be part of planning a community, you get to focus on making sure that it's a healthy planning, that you're just part of something bigger, and it doesn't just grow by itself. You want to have some management in the growth of that. So at the end of the day, you have to have a vision of what that community looks like and how you keep those special things about the community while still making sure that you have what you need in business, whether it's retail or technology, healthcare, and then, of course, the people to staff those type of businesses that we're just like in Pueblo, we're trying to job create. We're trying to make sure that we keep the type of community that we have where people can come and be happy and healthy and get outdoors and make sure that they're taking care of themselves, and not so much the hustle and bustle of a big city,
Gotcha.
But still thriving businesses.
Yeah. I mean, let me ask you, what do you think is special about Pueblo West?
Just that people truly care about each other, and whether you see it on social media now, because that's really where people are connecting for the most part. But the rest of the time, you just see it outdoors. I mean, people will stop and help. One of my favorite stories that I like to tell is I was sitting in a drive-through, and I believe it was Dairy Queen. I was picking up some ice cream for me and the kids. And I looked over, and somebody had stalled on McCulloch, and it was a younger, looked like teenage boy. And he got out, and he was kind of panicking, trying to push the car. And I'm not kidding. It didn't even take a minute. And there were other people pulling over, somebody running out of Wendy's to go and meet this kid and help him and get it off of the road. And it didn't take 5 minutes to get that around the corner and off the road, and just watching total strangers jump to help when they saw a need. And I think that story just kind of encompasses how I feel about Pueblo West. And that's really what makes it special. And no matter what else we do, if we don't lose that, then we're going to be a strong, vibrant community.
Yeah. What would you say the vision of the Chamber of Commerce, and then obviously your vision for Pueblo West in the future? What do you think that looks like?
I would say I want to keep the equestrian community. I want to still see the horses riding around on the paths. And we just recently had, we're having our Parade of Lights. It's called the Holiday and Lights tour this year. Since we couldn't do the actual parade, then we had homes sign up that decorated their houses. And we've had people with horses decorate their horses with lights and come past those houses. So not only people are seeing the houses, but the horses. So in growing, I want to keep that. I want to make sure that we have locally owned and operated restaurants where people know each other's names as they walk in. But I also want to make sure that we're secure in the future, and technology is really is really the future. We have things like an event center planned. Somebody's building an event center out there.
Oh, cool.
So yeah, that's going to be amazing. A shopping district. So we don't have a ton of retail out there. And so to have a shopping district that's kind of focused on where to eat and walk casually around and shop and then, attend a sporting event or a concert or something like that. Those are things that Pueblo West really has not had up until this point. And then, like I said, the technology part of it, having and creating some of those higher end jobs where people are really being pulled to come in and be creatives in the technology field and some work from home opportunities, because I think it's a great community for it. A lot of people don't realize how many trails we have out there. Just miles and miles and miles of trails, whether you're a runner, you like to walk your dogs, like I said, you're taking the horses out, whatever. It is a great community to incorporate work and leisure.
Gotcha. So if I'm running a business in Pueblo West and I'm not connected with the Chamber of Commerce,
You need to be.
Yeah. Why would I connect with it?
Because I think that's where you come to get connected the quickest with everybody else and everything else. One of my favorite comments, I take it as a compliment, when we have our networking events, when somebody comes for the first time, a lot of times before they leave, they will say, "You weren't kidding when you said that this is like a family." And we really are like a business family. And I think it really shows through to people just watching the other business members interact, that they truly care about each other. They want to help each other. They want to refer each other and help each other grow their businesses. And they just get invested in helping each other. So if you want, whether you're looking for resources and just connections with other business people in the community, or you want good people with good hearts and good integrity and good character referring you, their friends and family and customers, however that works, some people need it all. Some people a little more business to business. They need those direct business connections. And some people just come to be around like-minded people. Maybe they do business outside of the area. They hire in, but really a lot of their business just goes directly outside of the area. Maybe they don't have a widget or a service to sell somebody really here. But I really feel like no matter what you do, you need to be connected with other business people, even if it is for the simple fact of coming together again with intelligent, like-minded, good-hearted people.
All right, so that's the end of part one right here on Keeping It Real with Rory. Thank you so much for joining us, and thank you again to Amy for coming in and talking to us about all the good things she's doing with the Pueblo West Chamber of Commerce. Thank you so much for listening. We appreciate you. Part two coming out next week right here on Keeping It Real with Rory, brought to you by Cornerstone Roofing.